He trying to make me out of a bad guy and try to make him like a saint. Like, I'm cool with him believing in God, but we know for sure.
We try to be as much fair as we can.
Yeah, I know. I already know that you can like get disqualified for all that. Or like, when you start counting, I'm like, what the hell? But I don't know.
But I had him winning. I had him up at least 3 rounds.
Oh.
At least 3 rounds.
Oh. Not including the knockdown.
Gervonta Davis is in panic mode after WBA President Gilberto Mendoza's shocking statement regarding his fight against Roach. Mendoza took to X saying, "Let me repeat, I stand by what was expressed last Sunday in Ring magazine, based on my 30 years plus experience. Taking a knee without a punch shall be ruled a knockdown. It affected the result of the fight." This statement puts Davis under immense scrutiny, as it suggests the fight's result could have been influenced by an incorrect ruling. Fans and analysts are now questioning whether the fight should be reviewed or even overturned. Following the controversial draw between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach Jr., the New York State Athletic Commission admitted to a technical issue that prevented officials from properly reviewing a potential knockdown in the 9th round. This revelation has sparked outrage among fans and analysts, as the missed call could have significantly impacted the fight's outcome. With WBA President Gilberto Mendoza already stating that taking a knee without a punch should be ruled a knockdown, pressure is mounting on NYSOC to address the situation.
To override his decisions or knockdowns. Some skeptics have suggested that Willis's call benefited Davis unfairly, but we do not subscribe to that notion. In our long experience judging fights, we see no evidence of favoritism, only a referee prioritizing the physical safety of a fighter who appeared compromised by an eye injury. Which I actually get. I understood that statement because, hey, look, Steve Willis he didn't call it a knockdown.
You take a knee like that looks like a knockdown, all right?
So I think it's going to be very difficult for the New York State Athletic Commission to review this and then call it a knockdown. Because here's the thing. The fight could have gone completely differently if Gervonta was told that it was a knockdown officially. Gervonta could have then responded differently because, let the truth be known, Gervonta didn't even know it was the 12th round when it was the 12th round. He thought it was the 8th.
Forgot where he was at. He thought he was still in the 8th round. He thought he still had rounds to go.
12th round. He said, damn, it's the 12th? Yeah, it's the 12th and you're down. Tank didn't know what round it was. So, if it was brought to his attention by Steve Willis that it was officially a knockdown, the fight could have gone differently, making it very difficult to review this after the fact and overturn it. But the problem is, still, though Steve Willis did not call it a knockdown officially, he also didn't call it a slip.
You take a knee like that looks like a knockdown.
He had to pick one or the other. And according to the rules, if it's a slip, the referee has to let it be known that it's a slip.
Tank Davis explained the 9th round controversy, saying he took a knee because something got in his eye and he didn't want to be noticed. However, he admitted, "But I didn't know I could get disqualified for this." His statement has sparked further debate about the fight's outcome.
But I must say, do it enough.
Can you describe what the feeling was like in the ring? And was it to get the towel out, to get the burn out of your eyes, or what was going on? And
I didn't want to get caught. I didn't want to get caught while my eyes was burning. And, you know, like, you can get knocked out like that. So I'd rather take the knee than, you know. But I didn't really know that you can, like, get disqualified for all that. Or, like, when you start counting, I'm like, what the hell? But I don't know. It's cool.
WBA President Gilberto Mendoza presented Tank Davis with a gift originally given to him by a fan, symbolizing their close relationship. This gesture highlighted the mutual respect and affection between the two. However, despite this bond, Mendoza emphasized that rules are paramount and must be upheld, indicating that he cannot defend Davis if he disobeys them. This underscores the importance of impartiality and integrity in boxing governance, ensuring that personal relationships do not interfere with the enforcement of regulations.
President of WBA. I got a gift for you from a guy. If you're admiring Venezuela, wait a second. He made it. Just a kid. He's just He's a kid that made this. Yeah, he's just a kid that made that for you. Yeah, his name is Jair. I'll let you know his name.
What's your name?
Jair.
He didn't sign it?
No, he didn't sign it.
MMA journalist Ariel Helwani reviewed the Davis versus Roach bout, describing it as satisfactory but not exceptional. He particularly focused on the controversial 9th round when Davis took a knee. Helwani argued that in boxing, such actions should be deemed a knockdown, as per standard rules. This perspective aligns with the sentiments of many fans and analysts who believe that the referee's decision not to count the knee as a knockdown significantly impacted the fight's outcome. The incident has sparked debates about rule interpretations and the consistency of officiating in boxing matches.
And this, that, and the other, like it all kind of felt like an afterthought. And then the fight happens, and truth be told, like the fight wasn't the best fight of all time. It was fine. It wasn't your vintage Tank Davis fight. There wasn't a knockout. There wasn't a knockdown scored by him. It was just sort of fine. If that was your first time watching Tank, you're probably like, okay, yeah, sort of, I get it. But it kind of speaks to his demeanor going into the fight. Like it just felt a little bit underwhelming. And then we get to the 9th round, and then it's complete madness, because in the 9th round, you probably have heard by now, the fight is moving along, and it is important to note that Lamont Roach lands a jab or two, and where we want to start the clock is up to debate, but he certainly lands a punch. And then seconds after that punch lands, that jab lands, all of a sudden Tank Davis takes a knee. He quickly takes a knee, and there it is right there. 9th round, 217, he is taking a knee. And he's looking to his corner. And he also, ever so briefly, it appears as though he's almost trying to call time. Let me tell you, in case you don't know, in boxing, you take a knee, that's considered a knockdown. You cannot call time. And you know what you also can't do? You also can't go to your corner mid-round and ask them to wipe your face. Ask them to do anything. You can't get a swig of water. You can't do this. You cannot do that. But that all happened. And so the referee for this fight is a legendary referee. Steve Willis, you have probably seen him in GIFs. He's got that kind of like big-eyed look. You've definitely seen him. He's a veteran of the fight game. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I'm not suggesting he was in on it. But like there was certainly a fumbling.
Fellow lightweight boxer Devin Haney shared his thoughts on the Roach-Davis fight, acknowledging Roach's skill level and expressing his belief that Roach deserved the victory. Haney's perspective adds weight to the ongoing discussions about the fight's outcome, considering his expertise and standing in the boxing community.
What was your assessment on his fight against Lamont Roach, and what are your thoughts on the knockdown that wasn't called in round 9?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good fight overall. Lamont, I always knew Lamont was, he wasn't coming to lay down. I've been knowing Lamont since we was kids, so we came up in amateurs together. So I knew Lamont was serious. He was coming in there to fight, but he did a lot better than I thought he would, and I thought he won the fight personally. Yeah, the no knockdown, that was like unheard of. It was the first time I've ever seen it with my own two eyes.
Post-fight tensions between Tank Davis and Lamont Roach have escalated on social media platforms, particularly X, formerly Twitter. Both fighters have engaged in public exchanges, debating the outcome of their first fight and the possibility of a rematch.
He forget that, let me take a knee. That's a knockdown. But either way, it looked like they may have an immediate rematch. Roach and Gervonta Tank Davis goes back and forth on X, and here's what they say. It seems to me that, okay, if the New York State Athletic Commission overturns the result of the fight, then yeah, it's an immediate rematch anyway. Like Lamont Roach said, he has it in the contract. But if it remains a draw, it looks like Tank's still going to push for the rematch. And I'm hearing that, the fight that they were going to have, which would delay this rematch, was a fight with Pitbull. You can argue that a rematch with Lamont Roach would be far bigger than a rematch with Pitbull. But let me know how you feel in the comments below. Showbiz adult.
Several boxing analysts have reviewed the fight and concluded that, even without counting the controversial 9th-round incident as a knockdown, Lamont Roach appeared to have won at least 3 more rounds than Gervonta Davis.
That's why I call it a cherry pick. And he got his ass kicked, in my opinion. I know people going to come for me, but I had him winning. I had him up at least 3 rounds. At least 3 rounds.
Not including the knockdown.
Yeah. It was, to me, if it would have been 116, 112, I'd have been okay with that.
So
in Roach's favor.
You let your psychology get to you too, huh?
Hey, I know what I was watching.
What did you have it after 4 rounds, Zattel?
4 rounds.
2-2.
I'm sorry, after 6. Why did I say 4?
4-2.
Because I had it 4-2.
4-2 Davis.
I had it 4-2 Davis. What did you have it after 6?
I had it 5-1 for Roach.
For Roach?
He said, okay, nigga, I brought you on the show, now. That's why.
Listen,
At
that
the
first
end,
round,
I felt like I had Roach winning. Don't get me
the
wrong.
first
Yeah,
round
at the end
tank?
of 12, I had 7-5 Roach. But
Yeah, I had 7-5 Roach.
Yeah.
Say again?
Didn't some of the judges give the first round to Tank?
I think so. I
Yeah,
think he might be right about
How?
that.
He
Yeah.
landed 1 punch.
Yeah.
Roach landed 3 punches to his 1, and he was the aggressor. How did Tank win that round?
Yeah.
Because he's Tank, Naeem.
Within the boxing community, there is a faction that believes Lamont Roach Jr. was the rightful winner of the fight, but was denied victory due to Gervonta Davis's prominence and marketability in the sport. This perspective suggests that external factors, such as Davis's status and drawing power, may have influenced the fight's outcome.
Tender regime, boxing, check it back in with y'all, man. What's good? What's good? Look, Gervonta Tank Davis. Gervonta Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach. Incredible fight. Incredible fight. Tit for tat, wit for wit, athleticism for athleticism. What an amazing fight. I had Lamont Roach winning 7-5. 7-5, 8-4, I had Lamont Roach winning. Now, I understand the draw politically. It's Tank, he's a star. You don't want to just give him an L and he didn't just get his ass whooped like from dusk till dawn. But he got outboxed tonight. Lamont Roach won that fight. But I understand the draw politically. How did you see the fight, bro? Tell them how you saw the fight.
Yo, I saw Roach winning the fight, man. I had Roach winning the fight 7 rounds to 5, Tank, meaning Roach's favor. I don't know how we ended up here, but we can say it was the politics, because, you know, Tank a bigger fighter. If you want to beat the king, you got to beat the king. In order to beat the king, you got to knock him out. And they ain't doing this fight. But, hey, the next fight going to be big bread, though. So that's all I got to say, man.
Yeah. Great fight, man. Great fight. Great fucking fight.
Renowned boxer Canelo Alvarez weighed in on the controversy, stating that the knee taken by Gervonta Davis should have been ruled a knockdown. Canelo's opinion carries significant weight in the boxing community due to his experience and status as a top fighter.
Did Gervonta Davis take a knee, and should he have been deducted a point and in the end lost that fight to Roach, in your opinion?
Yeah, in my opinion, if it was a draw, he take a knee. And plus the corner go up and put it a towel in the face, that's a disqualification for sure. I'm talking about the rules, but it's not my business.
WBA President Gilberto Mendoza has advocated for a rematch, stating, "I have asked the WBA Boxing Committee to follow up direct rematch case closely. However, we believe the parties, as expressed in the post-fight interview, will amicably agree to run it again." Mendoza's proactive stance underscores the importance of resolving the controversy and providing both fighters with an opportunity to settle the dispute conclusively. Wordsmith's tweet directly responds to WBA President Gilberto Mendoza's call for a rematch, arguing that the draw for Lamont was already generous. Now he's trying to litigate his way to being gifted a win, which we all know is a ploy to force a rematch. Rewarding underhanded tactics makes the committee look vulnerable. What if Tank doesn't like the decision and drops the belt? Smith suggests Roach is using external pressure to secure another fight instead of earning it outright. A growing sentiment among boxing fans and analysts is that Gervonta Davis will likely avoid a rematch with Lamont Roach, citing his history of not engaging in tough rematches. This belief stems from Davis's decision not to pursue a second fight against Ryan Garcia and other formidable opponents in the past. Some argue that Davis prefers to maintain his undefeated record, without taking unnecessary risks against opponents who have proven to be difficult matchups.
We will never see that fight happen again. It just will not happen. Gervonta Tank Davis doesn't like hard fights. It's that simple. We've seen it over and over. He fought a Ryan Garcia drained. He fought a very inexperienced Rolly Romero. He will not fight Devin Haney. He will not fight Shakur. He will not fight Pitbull Cruz again. He will not fight Lamar Roach again. He will not fight Tefimo. He will not fight He will not fight those guys. That's just not who Tank is.
Throughout the fight, Lamont Roach showcased his technical ability, resilience, and conditioning, managing to push Gervonta Davis to the limit over 12 rounds. The fact that the bout ended in a controversial draw only further emphasized Roach's capabilities, proving that he could compete at the highest level.
Was Lamont Roach robbed in this fight? What do y'all think? We're seeing a lot of the comments. People seem to think he was. He did outland Tank Davis. But was it by enough to get that decision? What do you think? Here's one of the punches he threw at Tank Davis right here. You can see the effect. Tank Davis did not look like normal Tank Davis tonight. You could see Lamont applying the pressure all night, especially around that 6th-round area where you usually see Tank Davis take off. I'll tell you what, it's one of the first fights I've paid for that we got our money's worth. What an ending, so a majority draw was the decision. But what do y'all think, guys? Do you think Lamont got cheated out of this decision, or do you think the right call was a draw? It was a wild night. And then the knee, right? The knee was bizarre. Why did Gervonta Davis take a knee? That was strange to me. It came out of nowhere. He said it had something to do with something in his hair or whatnot. That was weird. Lamont thinks he won the fight. I think we're definitely going to get a rematch, but I want to ask the people out there, what do you think? Was Lamont robbed tonight? Let me know in the comments.
Skepticism is mounting regarding Gervonta Davis's willingness to engage in a rematch with Lamont Roach.
Look, I had just finished my recovery session, so I was pretty docile and relaxed, and then the fight, especially at the start of it, wasn't too thrilling and too action-packed, so I was starting to doze off a little bit, but I woke up a little bit more when obviously Lamont started giving him some work, and he looked good, man. I got to give respect to Lamont Roach. He proved a lot of guys wrong. I think he shocked Tank a lot with what he was able to bring, and again we saw the controversy with the knee. To me, that's a knockdown. You can't just take a knee and decide to go to your corner and get your face wiped. So if that's a 10-8 round, Lamont wins the fight. So it's unfortunate, but that's the fight game. Hopefully they'll do it again and he gets paid what he's worth.
Have you ever seen anything like that in boxing before? A guy sort of just voluntarily...
We've seen Floyd take a knee and be put on the count. We've seen Miguel Cotto, take a knee, obviously into his corner, be put on the count. If we're allowed to start taking knees and run to our corners, well...
Many boxing analysts and fellow fighters have praised Lamont Roach for his outstanding performance against Gervonta Davis. Boxing analyst Showbiz the Adult has made a strong statement regarding a potential rematch between Davis and Roach, predicting that Roach would score a knockout victory in the second fight.
You got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? That is it. Lamont, please say that in the second fight. Any questions? You got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? You got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? Hey, bruh, be on that. Because here's the thing. He never hurt Roach. Roach just waited. And Roach was squared up and turned sideways. And I'm like, oh my God. I didn't think he had that. He was like, I'm like, oh my. And then he just sitting there like, you can't. I know what you're going to do. Because I've trained with you since we wwere kids. Tarver beat Roy. But he knew Roy since amateurs. Roy said he never liked fighting sparring partners. Because they know you so well. I should have listened to Roy.
Although some believe Gervonta Davis will avoid a rematch, recent reports suggest that he may be reconsidering his stance. Initially, Davis hinted at retirement, but new developments indicate that he is more focused and determined than ever.
Well, it looks like Tank was not playing about this rematch, man. He's looking to probably get back in the ring with Roach by the end of May. And as far as that retirement stuff, it looks like that's out the window as well.
Course of your plans for your future?
Yeah, it definitely changed my plans. It definitely changed my plans. I probably got like 4 more fights now. For sure.
But I'm going to be honest with y'all, man. As much as, we hate the fact that he had a draw, I think this was the best thing for Tank. You could just kind of see, even in the press conferences and everything like that, he was kind of forcing himself to be interested. And I only know one person that can bring his interest back. Calvin is the key, man.
Calvin has known Tank since he was a child. Nobody knows Tank more than Cal, man. He's the only person that I believe that can bring the best out of Tank. But what do y'all think, man? What do you think Tank needs to do differently in his next fight so he can get back to doing stuff like this, man, at the end of his fights? Comment down below.
Reports indicate that before committing to a potential rematch with Lamont Roach, Gervonta Davis may be planning to fight another opponent first. This move could be strategic, allowing Davis to regain momentum and confidence before taking on Roach again. That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.